Our welcoming congregation, we welcome people of all gender identities, ethnicities, ages, and backgrounds. We're also on YouTube. To be put on our email list or to find out more information about us, go to our website at tcuuc.org. Note the email link to request our online Friday newsletter. Now is the moment when you silence your cell phones. Thank you. Do we have visitors today? Anybody? Yay! Would you like to come up to the mic and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Eric Neff, and I'm here escorting my grandma Phyllis today for church. Glad to be here.
Thank you for coming and bringing your grandmother. One of our favorite longtime grandmothers. Any other visitors? For announcements, please see the printed order of service and the newsletter for details. Take special note of our fourth Tuesday hors d'oeuvre and a movie. That's this coming Tuesday, just 2 days away, the 27th at 4 p.m. There's a sign-up sheet in the narthex, and the movie is Coco. And be sure to mark your calendars in advance for a special event on Friday, March 8th from 5 to 7, backed by popular demand, John Morn and his stubborn friends. The details are in the bulletin and also the Friday newsletter. Join us also on the first and third Tuesdays at Stewart Veterans Memorial Park downtown behind the Shuffleboard Club at noon with your own brown bag lunch. After the service, there will be coffee and goodies, which reminds us we want to thank our helpers this morning. Jackie is coming? No, Joe. Oh, Judy, bless you for being here. Judy Bajoras will be our pianist. Our greeter is Jackie Buckley. Our ushers to be named later. Tech elf, Corina Poloni. Our tech support, Rachel Valentino. And we thank especially our hospitality team, Joanne Leone and Margaret Gregory. Karen Olesch is in the, there's this fella that has just taken over. He has another.
I'm Bob, the minister here. I haven't been fired, but I'm also a part-time social director. So one of the things we do once in a while is see movies that we think are good to see as a group. So I'm wondering if any of you are interested, maybe Thursday morning. The one we've gone to, Regency, isn't Regency, and it doesn't offer a Tuesday $5 special. It has a lower price for the first show. So I'm wondering if on Thursday, because we have a movie and hors d'oeuvres on Tuesday here, not more than one movie a day. If on Thursday morning anyone would want to join me to see the Bob Marley One Love at the Regency.
Irie.
Okay, so let me know afterwards, and I'm not going to buy tickets ahead of time. We'll just show up there like at 11:20. I like to go to the early show because my chances of staying alert and wide awake and all that are better. The earlier, the better. I'm also looking for showings of two other movies that are coming about. One is God and Country, Rob Reiner's take on Christian nationalism, which is kind of scary, but we should know about. And the other is Matt Damon's Kiss the Future, about the war in Bosnia. I'm hoping they will be showing somewhere in our area, and we might want to go to see them together. But let me know after the service if you're interested in going this Thursday at 11:30. It's over a lunch hour, but you can bring something, you know, in your pocket and munch quietly. So, anyway, thank you.
There's a war in Bosnia?
What's that?
Is there a war in Bosnia?
About the war that happened.
Oh, that happened in Bosnia. Okay. So many wars. Karen Olesch is in our pulpit today. Karen is enrolled at the Meadville Lombard Seminary in Chicago and studying to become a Unitarian Universalist minister. She was ordained at the Temple of Kriya Yoga in 2011 by Swami Kandalayananda. Close enough? She also holds a certificate in meditation from the Temple of Kriya Yoga and is a 500-hour certified yoga instructor. Additionally, she has a master's degree in philosophy with a special focus on Eastern religion from the University of Kent in Canterbury, England. She's been teaching at the college level for the last 27 years. And that said, the official beginning of our service is now with the prelude. Lovely. Now our chalice will be lit by future Reverend Karen. Together with the prelude, the lighting of our chalice signals the beginning of our worship service. Music and warmth, what a pair. When we truly join together, we say we are in harmony, and if we truly connect, we create warmth. Let us bring that harmony and warmth now to our first hymn. Judy will play through number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. After she plays it through once, we'll sing it together once. And then, for the fun part, Karen and Alistair will lead this side in a twice-through round. And Tia will lead this side in a twice-through round. Won't this be fun? But first, Judy.
Let's get to the mics, right?
Okay.
To the mics.
Okay. All right. Everybody ready? Stand as you're willing or able.
Come, come, whoever you are, wonder, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are.
Over here.
Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair.
Oh, give yourselves a big hand. You did it, you did it. By George, you did it. Okay. And now let us recite our affirmation, speaking the first verse and singing the second. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace and to speak the truth in love. To one another.
From all that dwell below the skies, let faith and hope and love arise. Let beauty, truth, and good be sung from every land, by every tongue.
Now I'm going to invite folks who have a joy or a sorrow to share to step up to the mic. Karen will move a stone for you in our imaginary river of life.
Pat Tosney was ill last week or wasn't feeling too well. Yesterday she informed me that, well, I'm kind of loud, aren't I? She informed me that she tested positive for COVID.
Ouch.
So she's going to take another week off, but only 1 week, Pat. 1 week should be enough. And also, Phyllis has to go home for eye repair, right? You have to go home this week. So we wish you the best for that. Last month, we got to celebrate your 99th, which tells me that if you can be with us, can come down next winter for your 100th, I can try to do something I've always wanted to do, and that is get the Goodyear blimp above our church for a very special event, which of course that would be.
Be sure you let NORAD know.
I have both a joy and a sorrow, which is surprising for me, I know. My sorrow is that I've been going through some very stressful events for the past few days. It's led me to be very sorrowful, but I am very glad to be here and to be getting out of the house and distracting from that. Those are my items.
Thank you, Alistair. Okay, David.
Hi, I'm David Blizzard. Today is my wife Margaret's / Maggie's birthday, born February 25th, 1944. So it's a joy to remember her.
Thanks.
I'm Judy Bajaris, and some of you may remember when I went out to Salt Lake City to help my cousin whose son had died suddenly of a heart attack, and it was quite an experience. It was very difficult for my brother and me to try to help her. She was a very difficult person, but I love her, and her niece, Diane, whom I think I've asked for your thoughts as well on another occasion, she called me that Mary did pass away a couple of days ago. So I am grateful that Mary is at peace now. She was in a lot of pain, and I think emotional and physical pain. I know physical pain for sure. So there's that, and Diane flew out there today, so I'm wishing her the best as she deals with the house, which is just a disaster, full of so much stuff and disorder and everything in array. So please keep your thoughts with Diane. Thank you.
Well, today I'd like to speak on joy, which is my favorite subject. And I would like to say that my granddaughter, my youngest granddaughter, just closed on her home in Old Palm City and will be moving in shortly. And she's a nurse at Martin North in the cardiac division.
Wow. Very wonderful. Thank you.
I know I don't speak as loud as Bob, but can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Very good. I'm Judith, and I actually have a serious joy this morning. As you know, that David has been through kind of a rough patch the last year or two, and is finished. He's now in the healing stage, and his heart doctor recommended a structured exercise program so he could get back in shape again. I mentioned this to Judy Bajoris and John Cook, and I want to give them both a very big thank you. They highly recommended the Council of the Aging's Log Cabin Senior Citizen Center up in Rio and Jensen Beach. 5 days a week, exercises for people over 55, free, very well led, and it goes from easy to if you want to take up salsa dancing even. And we've been there 3 or 4 times now. It's made a difference. I can't thank you enough. Thank you, Judy and John.
Hope we see the salsa sometime. Oh, there's Eileen. Been missing you.
I have what began as a sorrow and ended as a joy.
That's the best.
My dog McTavish, who's 14 and a rescue, had pancreatitis and wound up in the hospital. He couldn't eat, he wouldn't eat there. So I took him home, and after 4 days, he started to eat. And now he's chasing squirrels, and he's great.
Yay, McCavish. And finally, we always move a stone or two for a joy or sorrow not spoken. And now Karen will share a pastoral reading with us.
So, if you feel comfortable, as I do this reading, please look around into each other's eyes. Because of your faithfulness and power, there has never been a time when you weren't, and there never will be. So we know we can trust you. Whatever it is that gladdens or burdens our hearts today, and we do trust you. We trust you with those who are sick or are hurt in any way, in body or mind, soul or spirit.
It's time for Spirit of Life. Please remain seated. We'll hum once through, and then we'll sing. to me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the air, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. There are many ways to support TCUUC, but the old-fashioned offering is one of the best. As our volunteer ushers, one from each side, materialize. Okay, yes, they always do. What a trustworthy group. Please be as generous as you are able to be. Thank you. And now here is Karen with her message for us.
Good morning. So if you read the newsletter or the title at the beginning, you'll know this is going to be on trust, and that is one of the covenants of our right relations. The actual covenant words itself, which are the title for the sermon, is trust that each person has good intentions. And my tagline here is, do not be afraid to answer the call. So Stephen Covey tells us that trust is the glue of life. It's the most essential ingredient in effective communication. It's the foundational principle that holds all relationships. Anton Chekhov states that we must trust and believe in people or life becomes impossible. So as you may know, our covenant of right relations, which is at the back of our newsletter each week, contains 11 statements on how we can build stronger relationships in our beloved community. We covered our first statement on deep listening in January, and if you missed that one, you can watch that on YouTube. But today I want to focus on the second statement of trust that each person has good intentions. Trusting that others have good intentions is an essential aspect of building meaningful relationships and fostering a harmonious society. Well, it can be tempting to approach new encounters with skepticism, assuming the best in people often leads to more positive and fulfilling interactions. But can we answer this call to trust what seems to be in such a difficult time and environment? I think in today's world, it can be hard to see that each person has good intentions. I believe most of us would look around our world and see more examples of people that do not have good intentions towards others. Whether or not people have good intentions has been a question that has been grappled with throughout the ages in all different cultures. For example, philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau argued that people are born good and that they are instinctively concerned with the welfare of others, instinctively. Adam Smith, a Western philosopher and economist influenced by Rousseau, also thought that people are inherently good and have a concern for others. He called this sympathy and believed that it was an emotion that naturally arises when we see others experiencing misfortune. He believed that all people experience this emotion, including those who committed criminal acts. Wang Yingming, a Chinese philosopher and general during the Ming Dynasty, believed that the streets were full of saints. On the other hand, Thomas Hobbes believed humans were inherently evil and selfish, and therefore needed laws and contracts to keep them in check. Zunzi, a Chinese philosopher, also believed that we are born selfish, but can be trained to cultivate goodness. Aristotle, John Locke, and Sigmund Freud believed we are born as a blank slate, or that we are born neutral, not good or evil, and that we have the ability to be good or evil dependent on our environment, experience, and what we have learned. I am sure each of you have your own opinion on whether or not we are born good, evil, or neutral, but our covenant asks us to trust that each person has good intentions regardless of what we personally believe. If we personally believe that each person does have good intentions, this trust may be easier than for those who do not believe people have good intentions. Many of us wait to decide if we will trust someone and do so only after they have proved they are trustworthy. We can be naturally suspicious of others. We hold back. We keep up our walls. We do not show our vulnerability until this trust is established. So the practice of our second covenant of right relations is, in fact, very difficult for most of us. It is easier said than done. So where do we begin? Should we blindly trust that each person has good intentions? I think that most UUs, given our questioning nature, would say no. We tend to question everything and are good critical thinkers, but this is a good place to start, right? I think we should start with a retelling of an old Buddhist story as told by Wardy Reel. In a small village nestled amidst the serene mountains, there lived a humble carpenter named Ravi. Ravi was known for his impeccable craftsmanship and his unwavering trust in the world. He had heard tales of Buddha's teachings on trust and decided to seek his wisdom. One fine morning, Ravi set out on a journey to the neighboring town where Buddha was said to reside. With each step, Ravi's anticipation grew eager to learn the profound lessons that awaited him. As he reached the town, he saw a gathering of people surrounding Buddha, listening intently to his words. Ravi joined the crowd and found a spot where he could hear Buddha's teachings clearly. Buddha spoke of trust, explaining that it was the foundation of all relationships and the key to inner peace. He emphasized the importance of trusting oneself, others, and the unfolding of life's events. Inspired by Buddha's words, Ravi approached him after the discourse, eager to seek further guidance. With a warm smile, Buddha welcomed Ravi and asked, "What brings you here, my friend?" Ravi humbly replied, "Buddha, I am a carpenter seeking to deepen my understanding of trust. How can I cultivate trust in my life?" Buddha nodded and began to share a story. Once, the Buddha said, in a distant village, there was a wise old tree. This tree had been standing tall for centuries, providing shade and shelter to all creatures. It had witnessed the changing seasons, seen storms come and go, and yet it remained rooted in trust. Nearby, there was a woodcutter named Rajan. Rajan was known for his exceptional skills in crafting furniture. One day, he ventured into the forest. He came across the wise old tree. The tree spoke to him. Rajan, I have observed your work, and I trust you. I believe that you will use my wood with care and create something beautiful. Rajan was astonished by the tree's words, for he had never encountered such trust before. He gathered the fallen branches and began crafting a magnificent table. With every stroke of his chisel, he poured his love and dedication into the creation. When the table was complete, Rajan presented it to the wise old tree. The tree, in turn, thanked him for his craftsmanship and the trust they had shared. It understood that trust had brought forth something extraordinary. Buddha paused, allowing Ravi to reflect on the story. Ravi listened intently. His heart opened to the wisdom being shared. Buddha continued, just like the wise old tree, Ravi, trust is a seed that when planted and nurtured can grow into something magnificent. Trust yourself and your abilities. Trust in others, knowing that they too have their own unique gifts to offer. Trust in the unfolding of life's journey, for every twist and turn holds valuable lessons. Ravi nodded, feeling a newfound sense of clarity. He realized that trust was not blind faith, but a deep knowing that things would unfold as things were meant to be. With gratitude in his heart, Ravi thanked Buddha for the invaluable lesson and began his journey back to the village. From that day forward, Ravi embraced trust in every aspect of his life. He trusted his skills as a carpenter, creating masterpieces that captured the essence of his craftsmanship. He trusted in the connections he forged with his clients, knowing that their collaboration would yield extraordinary results. And most importantly, he trusted in the journey of life, surrendering to the twists and turns, knowing that they were guiding him toward growth and transformation. As the years passed, Ravi became known not only for his exceptional woodworking, but also for the unwavering trust he radiated. Is trust the key to inner peace, as the Buddha taught? Can we, like the tree, remain rooted in trust? Despite the challenging seasons and the storms that come and go, I believe we can. When I belonged to a Buddhist Sangha in Chicago, I spent hours facing a wall. In the Zen tradition, those some of the darkest moments of my life. I had heard the call of the Sangha after my first divorce. I was going through a dark night of the soul and needed to find peace again. What I learned to do in these sitting meditations was to picture myself like a mountain, strong, stable, and still. My only task was to remain solid like this mountain, without movement, and firm in my foundation, like that rooted tree. As my mind began to wander and focus on my pain, I would bring it back to this image of the mountain. For every storm that hit the mountain, no matter how much it battered and hammered, I sat through it all. I remained sitting as tears ran down my face, sometimes, or as a moment of joy swept over my body and a smile curved at my lips. There was nothing to do but be rooted just like the tree. That is trust. Sitting like this is a practice. Being that tree or that mountain is a practice. Trust did not come all at once. It grew steadily as I grew and healed. I learned to withstand all of the elements, and the name given to me by my teacher in the seminary when I was ordained spoke to that trust. She had noticed that no matter what came my way, I stood firm and rooted. And I'm a Capricorn, so that's an earth sign. My name, Kandalayananda, means that I represent a reed basket. I am full of holes, but challenges blow right through me. They do not linger or stay in the basket. They blow right out through those holes. They do not linger because I do not let them, and that is the practice. I simply move forward embedded in that trust that comes from a strong daily meditation practice. Sometimes this is not a grateful practice, and when my mind wanders away from my firm-rooted nature and I feel overwhelmed or like the world is crumbling around me, I am gentle with myself and have faith that all I need to do is trust that I will be firm and rooted again. It is from this place, like Rajan, I try to carve something beautiful out of my life. Just as Rajan treated the wood with care, I treat my life with care, and I treat others with care. With every stroke of our own chisel, we should pour love and dedication into what we create. And we should pour love and dedication into our relationships with others, even when it is hard. We should and do, because I have seen it, pour love and dedication into this beloved community. This is what it means to trust ourselves and to trust that others have good intentions. It is the trust we build with each other that will make our community extraordinary. And the place to begin our journey with trust is just like the wise old tree said to Ravi. Trust is a seed that when planted and nurtured can grow into something magnificent. Trust yourself and your abilities. Trust in others knowing that they too have their own unique gifts to offer. Trust in the unfolding of life's journey. It is from this place that we can arrive at a place where we trust that those in our beloved community have good intentions. Ravi trusted his skills as a carpenter, creating masterpieces that captured the essence of his craftsmanship. Do we trust our skills as a member of this beloved community? And are we working toward turning our space into a masterpiece that captures the essence of who we are? Ravi trusted in the connections he forged with his clients, knowing that their collaboration would yield extraordinary results. Do we trust that each person sitting next to us is trustworthy? How are we collaborating with each member of this congregation to yield extraordinary results? And most importantly, Ravi trusted in the journey of life, surrendering to the twists and turns, knowing that they were guiding him toward growth and transformation. Do we trust in the twists and turns of our own lives? Can we share them with one another to build trust? Dominique Colenso, motivational speaker and presenter of the TED Talk, The Power of Telling Your Story, says that too many of us are unwilling or are not able to open up and be vulnerable, to share our stories with others. In his talk, Colenso highlights that science tells us that when we hear a story, our bodies produce the hormone oxytocin, and we instantly start to form a connection with one another. Stories bind us together and help us make sense of our experience. He asks us to embrace our own story and share more of it with the world. We tend to hold back and only share the selected highlights, our achievements, our successes. But when we do this, Colenso believes, we only paint one part of the picture of who we are. What we tend to share lacks emotional depth. It is both the amazing adventures and the disastrous decisions that make us who we are. In order to trust in one another, we need to share our whole selves. I realize that this makes many people very uncomfortable. And I know when we walk out of here today that many people will continue sharing only a part of themselves, and that's okay. Be gentle with yourself. When you are ready, we will be here to hear your stories. I am here today to plant the seed of transformation within you and remind you, do not be afraid, for this is the territory of awakening. You are not lost, even though you can't see what lies ahead. Answer the call. Heal the wound. The time is now. It is together that we commit to staying the course. Honor the full spectrum of your experience, the light, the dark, the joy, the sorrow, the beauty, the pain. I know that trust is a process. That trust can't be understood as located in a fixed deposit of faith in another. Instead, it is something that emerges through conversation with another. The reason that this church exists is because a small group of people, our founders, trusted one another, and they started that conversation. In 1991, Myrtle Lockwood, William Arthur Lockwood, and Gretchen Hammerstein began to share with one another that they wanted a place to meet with others who shared their religious values, their liberal religious values. 14 people heard this call. 14 people answered the call and attended the first meeting of what was to become what we have today. Early on, they shared potluck dinners and discussed their related experiences and beliefs. They shared their stories, their willingness to share all of themselves, allowed others to hear the call. Was it easy? No. Was it a lot of hard work? Yes. But is that hard work that brought us to where we are now? Yes. It has brought us to our beloved community that we are continuing to grow. Every time we show up, we hear the call of our original founders. Every time we show up, we are sharing our willingness to keep this community alive. Every time we show up, there is the potential for us to share our stories and grow in trust with one another. We can show up not from a place of fear, but from a place of love. We are here because we have been called to love one another. Our opening words for each service state that we are a place of acceptance and that we accept all people no matter who they are or where they come from, and that means you too. We accept that you belong, you are loved, and you are part of this beloved community. When you walk through the door every Sunday, we trust you. I want to close the sermon with this prayer written by Eileen Carpeles. It is called A Prayer of Dedication for a Meeting House. It spoke to me because our church could be seen as this meeting house. It spoke to me because Carpeles sees this meeting house as a home. And I think many of us see this church as our home. And so as I read this prayer, think of our church every time she says home or house. A prayer of dedication for a meeting house. Out of wood and stone, out of dream and sacrifice, the people build a home. Out of the work of their hands and hearts and minds, the people fashion a symbol, a reality. May this house be truly a place of meeting, meeting in warmth and joy and openness, meeting in courage and love and trust. May all who enter here trust one another so surely that they may share the deep fires that burst into anger as much as the sweet springs that swell into laughter, the slow erosion of wounded tears as much as the soaring song. May these walls know silence as 100 hearts search inward, each for its own small spark of hope that might otherwise be snuffed out in the noise. May these rafters hear the voice of the child as surely as that of the orator, and the sound of the lute, and the clack of the typewriter, and the swish of the broom, and know that all are as holy as the shout of 1,000,000 stars. May the rain fall lightly on this house, and the sun shine warmly, and the winds blow softly, and bless it as a place of joy and peace.
Now please stand as willing and able for our final hymn, number 323.
How many verses?
All
How many?
three
Three?
verses.
Where people grow forgiven and forgiving, break not that circle, make it wider still, till it includes embraces all the living. Come wander at this love that comes to life, where words of freedom are with humor spoken, and people keep no score of wrong and guilt, but will the human bonds remain unbroken. Join then the movement of the love that frees. Tell people of whatever race or nation will truly be themselves, stand on their feet, see eye to eye with laughter and elation.
As Karen extinguishes the flame, carry its warmth and her morning message with you into the new week. And now our prelude.
Calm the nerves. Okay.
I forgot to mention that I'll be holding a workshop on trust just after we have some coffee and snacks. It'll be here.
That's my ride, so I'm stuck here.